FromSoftware may not be the last beacon of hope when it comes to solid storytelling and phenomenal games that it has been in the past. As of right now, there are rumor mills and articles spinning that are saying that Katagawa is going to be acquired by Sony, or Sony is reaching out to try and acquire Katagawa, which would mean that they would acquire FromSoftware. So let's talk about it. So as all FromSoft Soulsborne gamers have received this information within the last 24 hours, the consensus has pretty much been the same amongst the crowd, and that is Sony needs to leave FromSoftware alone and stay away permanently. There is nothing good about FromSoftware going towards a giant corporation that just gives gamers a bunch of stuff that we don't want, or that take a bunch of liberties into our games to make us play a certain type of game to run their own narrative. I'm going to be one of the first people to say here that I think FromSoft games are absolutely phenomenal and peak when it comes to gaming. I fell in love with them just a few years ago, and since then I've only played Souls-likes or FromSoft games, and I think that Sony coming into the picture is going to be bad for everyone. The reason being is even though Sony has some hard-hitting great titles, when it comes to the Soulsborne fandom, they absolutely could not care less. As we've seen from Bloodborne, this game has been on the back burner or in the graveyard of Sony's IPs, not to be resuscitated ever, and that's all people have been asking for. If Sony wanted to listen to their fan base, sure, potentially this would be great for FromSoftware, being under a company with a ton of money to throw so many resources at it that we could get some awesome games, but FromSoftware is already providing us with the best games out on the market, and I think that Sony is seeing that and only sees it as dollar signs rather than a solid IP that a lot of people are invested in and enjoy playing. Now, I guess the one saving grace for all of this is the fact that Sony is not EA. If EA was trying to acquire FromSoftware, then we would all just have to burn our PCs, Xboxes, and PlayStations together, because we could definitely count on never getting another great FromSoft game again. However, all of this still is just speculation. As I said at the beginning of the video, there's a ton of rumors going around, and there's a lot of articles that are spinning this narrative. But if this many people are talking about it, then there has to be some credibility to what's going on behind the scenes between Sony and Katagawa. Now, the other question is, am I just blowing this all out of proportion? Is this something that Sony is doing and it's actually going to be a good thing at the end of the line? Well, in my personal opinion, no. I think that anytime a massive AAA game studio takes over a really awesome smaller studio, it ends up completely destroying the studio and liquidating everybody, and we've seen so many layoffs recently that this could just be another area where that happens to FromSoft. Not to mention, everything that I've read about this and every single comment section that I've been in has been adamantly against Sony acquiring FromSoftware and Katagawa for that matter. We are absolutely happy with what we currently have with Katagawa and how FromSoftware has been so nurturing to not only its player base, but rewarding to those who invested in it and have been a part of this Soulsborne journey for so long. Now, the last thing that I'm going to say about this, because I want the comment section of this video to become a conversation, because here's the deal. If I am wrong, I would love to be proven wrong. I would love to know your all's points of view as to what you think about Sony's potential acquisition of Katagawa and FromSoftware. But something else that's on my radar that other large companies do when acquiring smaller companies is forcing them to put out games faster than the games are ready. Picture this, we have a FromSoftware game that's supposed to release at some point next year, but instead of next year, Sony wants to pull the trigger holiday of this year. This causes a ton of friction between companies, as well as really horrible working conditions for these smaller companies, and overall produces an unfinished and horrific final product that should have just been done in a normal time. FromSoftware has that ability currently to be completely independent and put its games out when its games are done. I do fear that if Sony interferes with this, that will no longer be the case, and Souls games will start to be half-baked, and because of this, we will be getting a product that is just not done, leaving us with far more questions than answers when the game releases. But like I said at the beginning of the video, prove me wrong. I want to be wrong about this. I do not want Sony to acquire FromSoftware. I think I speak for a lot of us in the Soulsborne community at this point when I say we just think that's an absolutely terrible idea. So leave what you think down in the comments. Is this a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Are you indifferent? Let me know. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching until the end of the video. I appreciate you guys being here and being part of the conversation. Make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification on your way out. And until next time, guys, stay safe, enjoy the game, and I'll see you in the next one.